Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Hawk versus Sock here on Tyrannus Stan. Hawk has spawned as the red human player over here on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Sock has spawned as the blue human player over here on the bottom right. Hi Arya. Now, human versus human matchup here on Tyrannus Stan. Expansions are plentiful. You can see that there's a close expansion and then one a little bit further away. I am expecting at least one of these players to be setting up an expansion sometime before the 8-minute mark. Expansions are generally easily defended and guarded on Tyrannus Stan and generally play out to be a little bit more longer games in, well, a human versus human mirror match. Coming back down across over here. Wow, dropped down to 10 viewers. Anyways, Ultra King's about to get set up here. Let's take a look at this. Alt farm now being placed out, barracks, all of this getting added in together, adding in an additional farm right here. Perhaps this is to try and stop the Keeper of the Grove from being able to make ents into this location, but it's a human versus human mirror match, so not quite sure what is this going on. My Chrome browser wouldn't connect to chat, so I'm on edge now. Any suggestions? Nope. None at all. Alright, Sock opening up with Mountain King. Meanwhile, back here off to the north, let's take a look. It is going to be an Archmage. Hawk opening up with the Archmage, and normally Archmage allows you for different types of openings. If you want to go casters, casters generally want an Archmage first. However, we have seen Sock go for a mass air army, as we saw in the previous game, and Mountain King first, followed by a Blood Mage, can allow you to open up into Knights, and perhaps Dragon Hawk Riders, or maybe perhaps some even Mortar teams. What that allows you to do is you're able to Stormbolt, focus down units, and Knights are a very important unit in this matchup because they're able to shut down Spellbreakers. With that said though, if you do not have Spellbreakers of your own, what can end up happening is that your opponent then has access to slow. By having access to slow, well, all of a sudden you end up falling a bit behind because the effectiveness of a handful of sorceresses being able to slow down your entire army cannot be understated. So we'll have to see how exactly Sock is going to transition into that mid game and whether or not Hawk tries to capitalize on the fact that, well, Sock may not be going for Spellbreakers. Footman now making its way back across over here, perhaps going to try and take down a peasant or two. Going to go ahead and call to arms back. More than enough units to try and fight back here. Let's take a look. Another Footman trying to make its way back over here, but it's not really going to be able to win out at all. Mountain King also shifting its way back down to the south. This one Footman could just get Stormbolted for all of its efforts and get taken out. Yep, we called it. We predicted it. Down it goes. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, Hawk is going to be trying to, well, militia clear out this creep camp and perhaps set up an expansion. Forestral Shadow Priest quickly trying to take down, trying to take down the High Priest here. It will get taken out rather fast. Claws of Attack +9 now being dropped. Both sides actually clearing out the creep camp with militia here. Mountain King gonna go ahead and pick up the item. Let's see, tech to tier 2 has not begun on both sides, so we'll see who tries to set up an expansion first. There goes a handful of units left, and it looks like, yes, Hawk will be the first to place down this town hall, followed by this scout tower, which will most likely upgrade to an arcane tower. Alright, Footmen battling it out over here at the mercenary camp. Not much really going on. Meanwhile, back across over here, let's take a look. Forestral Berserker, but the pressure of this Archmage with Water Elementals can easily shut down a town hall trying to be built, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Archmage, Water Elemental, easy damage, gonna force a cancellation, and now Sock is gonna be in trouble. He's gonna be behind economically as these peasants are trying to get away. Meanwhile, Footman versus Footman are battling it out. This Footman down to 34 hit points compared to 181. What is going on here? This scout tower now trying to get back away. What is going on here as the Footman decides to double back and perhaps head back? No, he's not heading home. He's just walking into an alleyway. That is not a good idea whatsoever as this Footman, well, gonna try and battle it it out. Is he actually going to be able to come out ahead? Yes, 1-4 Stroll Shadow Priest going to be more than enough to give him the upper hand. Meanwhile, back down to the south here, Water Elemental is engaging as this Archmage is going to be in trouble. Peasant getting taken down. All right, Mountain King is in position. Are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal? Potion of Invulnerability used instead. Water Elemental could get taken down. It's going to get taken down right there. There you go. Stormbolt onto a Footman as well, as that's going to get taken out too. Sock coming out ahead slightly by being able to take down multiple units. Meanwhile, Archmage trying to shut things down here. Mountain King doesn't have that much mana. If it did decide to use that Potion of Greater Mana, it would perhaps be to go up against and snipe down that Archmage. All right, Water Elemental going to be heading back away. Meanwhile, you can take a look. Hawk is going to be up and running on this Arcane Tower. We have not seen Sock transition into a fast tech to tier 2, so his gameplay and strategy is still to try and set up an expansion, even though he is significantly behind. He's just now starting this expansion for the second time, even though his opponent is already operating his, and we'll see if Hawk's economic advantage turns into, well, a mid-game advantage here in just a moment. Tech to tier 2 has already begun. No tech to tier 2 here as of yet. And Hawk should have his Mountain King out onto the field in about 3 minutes. Altar of Kings, still not training up anything yet, still not taking the tier 2. Meanwhile, Mountain King engaging back across here, maybe forced to try to back away. Stormbolt onto the Archmage. Archmage, is it going to get sniped down? There's a clap. Is it going to be able to finish it? Yeah, oh, it is able to finish it right there. Archmage gets taken down, and all of a sudden, I do not know if the Mountain King is going to be able to, well, win out on these battles. Units are now trying to make their way back again. Mountain King, there's a big thunderclap again. Units are trying to head back. Let's take a look. Footmen do not have defend. Mountain King is in the back just getting healed, and that Potion of Greater Mana did end up giving the kill against that Archmage. All right, massive repairs underway. Let's take a look. Are we going to see a thunderclap? Yes, we are. Down goes the tower. Mountain King is still in position as militia are now being joined in on the fight. Archmage resurrected back in the center portion of the map. Footman going to get taken down. Well, there it goes as the 4-Stroll Shadow Priest goes after that. Another big thunderclap right there. And there's the slow clap once more. Perhaps Peasants will get taken down one at a time as the Mountain King tries to get to level 5. All right, finishes off a 4-Stroll Shadow Priest. Let's take a look. Perhaps another 4-Stroll Shadow Priest should be healing that one. Mountain King wants to get a Stormbolt or a Lucky Bash there. Not going to be able to do it. Let's take a look. That 4-Stroll Shadow Priest gets finished off, but the teleport able to save the remaining units. Teleporting back, Arcane Vault is right there. Mountain King is at 4, almost at level 5. Sock doing a great job of punishing, getting experience. And now that Mountain King is at level 4, Archmage low on mana, low on hit points, will take some time to recover as well. Meanwhile, we still do not have a second hero as of yet. Let's take a look. No second hero either coming in from Hawk. That is coming as a surprise, but perhaps the gold that would have normally been spent on the second hero, it was instead used to resurrect the Archmage from the tavern. As that Mountain King gets closer, gets to level 5 and perhaps even level 6, that Mountain King's Thunderclap Stormbolt prowess is going to get that much stronger. Blood Mage should be added. Town Hall is only about a third of the way getting upgraded as the Mountain King wants to get in position and perhaps get to level 5 off of creeps. All right, going to go ahead and try and engage here. Let's take a look at that. Mountain King loses a bunch. There's that Thunderclap pretty much hitting multiple units. A lot of damage mitigated with that slow, and also just killing units slightly faster, as well as Devotion Aura will be given to the Mountain King, and the Mountain King also picking up level 5 as well. Let's take a look back down across over here. Mountain King does not have a Scroll of Town Portal, is going to be forced to do a long walk to get back home. Arcane Tower is in position. Archmage, you can take a look. Ogre Mauler coming across as well. Arcane Tower finally focusing down onto that Archmage. You see a bit of repairs as well. Massive repairs by these peasants. These peasants also should be repairing on the other side. Not quite sure why. Mountain King showing up to the party as it does have a slow cast on him. All right, massive repair is still underway. And Mountain King unable to save that one town hall there. Perhaps a Thunderclap would have worked wonders. Stormbolt to finish off That last, well, Troll Berserker, 1 or 2 more shots should finish it there. Meanwhile, the Ogre Mauler hiding all the way in the back. It could end up getting taken out at the hands of the Mountain King or perhaps some other units as the Mountain King trying to get in position again. All right, Arcane Tower is still acting as a bit of a deterrent. Let's see, Archmage trying to make its way through. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest. There is a big thunderclap once more. Units getting a little bit too close, being forced to retreat back against as the Archmage with a long distance fireball finishing off that Forest Troll, Shadow Priest. Using the additional gold from the expansion, he's trying to make up the gap. Sock is trying to make up the gap of the tech advantage by using the mercenaries, but the mercenaries are quite a bit more expensive, as you can see. Stormbolt now getting thrown down again, but that was only the level 1 variety. Not much going to be happening there. All right, more peasants getting underway. Mountain King, Boots of Speed, and Goblin Zeppelin going to go ahead and pick up, perhaps try and drop on into this location here. The problem is going to be, well, there are already 2 towers in this location. Let's take a look. Is a Forest Troll Berserker going to drop first, followed by the Mountain King Thunderclap to try and deal damage here. There it goes. No thunder. Oh, there's the Thunderclap finishing off many of those units. Arcane Tower now focusing down onto the Mountain King as well, as we do expect to see. Hawk, all of these units are now trying to back away. Let's take a look. Mountain King does have a potion of mana. There's a Thunderclap being used once more, finishing off some more units. Perhaps it should have waited until after the units or the Scroll of Town Portal landed. It could have been able to thunderclap and perhaps finished off a large number of footmen right there, in addition to some of those other peasants. Archmage sitting at level 1, not a blood mage as that second hero, so the Mountain King is going to be rather low on mana. We are taking the tier 3 nearly already done. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest. Let's take a look. Mountain King is right here as well, trying to finish off these remaining units as we could be taking down this Arcane Tower here in just a moment. Massive repairs are underway. Footmen now trying to figure this out. Arcane Tower able to pick up, drop back down. Mountain King gets up to level 6. No more mana though as it finishes off another unit. Solo Mountain King causing so many problems as the remaining units are going to try and back away. Mountain King could easily just Scroll of Town Portal to try to get out of this bad spot or just jump into the Zeppelin. Let's take a look. Handful of units, 1 footman being left behind right now. Let's take a look. Is it going to be able to, no, Dragonhawk Riders, there's right here. Oh, Goblin Zeppelin could have a very bad day. Is it going to end up dying over the forest? No, it is not. It is going to go ahead and try and drop into this location here. Stormbolt now getting into position once more. Scroll of Town Portal trying to get away, dropping the remaining units. There goes a Forest Troll, Shadow Priest in order to head back. Oh, wow. Hawk minimizing his losses there. Sock was in a very dangerous spot, almost lost some units over the forest line. Unfortunately for him, or fortunately for him, the Archmage and this one farm prevented the Archmage from getting close enough to actually land 2 or 3 shots. Archmage going to go ahead and drop a water elemental, going to engage against the Renegade Wizard. Renegade Wizard purges that water elemental, removing some of that tanking. Meanwhile, back down to the south here, Archmage is looking to get to level 2 for Brilliance Aura. Sock sitting at 50 over 66. Hawk sitting at 56 over 60. Hawk is getting less gold right now, but Sock has the larger army, but unless they're engaging against each other, the size doesn't matter all that much. Archmage is at level 4, will get to level 5 here. Mountain King of Hawk now with a Sobi mask. That is going to be a big boost as well. Also has a Potion of Greater Mana.
Upgrade complete.
Archmage sitting at level 2. Mountain King is currently invisible. And are we going to perhaps be looking at Thunderclap? That is the big question. Flying Machine counting overhead. Perhaps they're going to be able to pick apart some of those Griffins. Griffins are not an easy, or rather are an easy target to try and finish off here. Mountain King is all the way in the back here. This could be a big deal. Let's take a look at this. In comes the fight. Flying Machines right there. There's the Thunderclap. There is the Flying Machines trying to focus down some of those units. Avatar now joining in on the fight, as well as the Mountain King gonna be pretty much blocking out that Mountain King from the battle. Archmage gonna be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away, and there it goes. Does head back out. Sock now with the supply lead, 62 supply compared to 51, as the Archmage is still sitting at level 2. No real experience change whatsoever. Flying Machines still perhaps looking to see if they can poke apart these Griffins. The Griffins are are not upgraded, but do in fact have inner fire, essentially giving about 2 upgrades. I believe that is the case. Inner fire increases. Well, I guess it's not 2 upgrades. It is 1 upgrades. Inner fire, 10% damage, and then 20% or 4 additional armor. So yeah, I guess that's technically 1 or closer to 1 Anyways, Archmage, Paladin, all of these units now making their way back out. Knights out onto the field. No Sundering Blades that I see. Animal War Training is not getting researched either, as even though there are Griffins and Knights out onto the field. All right, Knight looking to back up. Knights of Red, Hawk's army is already done here. Let's go ahead and engage. Mountain King in the position. Thunderclap trying to head back every which way. Thunderclap on the other side as well. I believe that was a Squirrel of Healing to try and save off more of those units. More Thunderclap happening, as that's just completely trying to erase the back line. Thunderclap just clapping left and right from both sides. Units are getting slowed down. Level 2 Thunderclap versus level 3, I believe, as Sock is seeing that 70 supply compares Hawk's 63. Third base now being established by Sock as well. No more flying machines getting added. Animal War Training, is it? No, we are now going into Sundering Blades. I don't know Animal War Training as of yet, but Sundering Blades does deal bonus damage to the medium armor Spellbreakers, which is really what you need to try and remove, just because, well, that Mountain King's Thunderclap is not effective against them, and they do tend to swarm in that front line location. Hawk trying to finish off these remaining units. Paladin sitting at level 1. May get to level 2. I believe there may actually be too many heroes close by, making that Paladin just a little bit shy. Yeah, that will be the case, as the Paladin level 2, Mountain King at level 6. Knights are all in position here. All right, Sundering Blades. Knights going to go ahead and engage against each other once more. Both sides fighting. Thunderclap, well, it's slowing down so many of those priests. Priests getting taken down. Paladin now up to level 2 as well. Flying Machine trying to turn to those Griffins, as the water elementals may try and shoot down those, well, Knights on the ground. Archmage, Staff of Sanctuary saves a unit. Both sides still focusing down. Another big Thunderclap here. The lines are not easily or well drawn either, as damage is being, positioned in every which way. All right, casters are getting absolutely splattered right there. Another mortar attack against all of those casters would have been absolutely deadly. That mortar combat so effective against all of those units. You saw those units go splat. Knights are 1-0 upgraded with, I believe, no Sundering Blades, but does have the Animal War Training. Meanwhile, off on the other side here, Sundering Blades, no Animal War Training, 1-0 upgrades as well, as more Knights are still getting added in here. Archmage is at level 3. Mountain King is at level 6. We are getting more mining done over here on the bottom left. 3 bases to do 2, as Sock is currently behind by 2 supply. Knight's going to be getting into position. All right, sorceresses. Not surprisingly, not out onto the field. You can take a look. Knights and Griffins are here, ready to go. This scout tower going to get taken down in no time flat. Meanwhile, both sides' armies are just willing to engage against each other. Stormbolt onto a Griffin Rider. That Griffin Rider could end up getting taken down. That is a very long stun, as it is finally able to get away. Let's take a look back across here. Knights in that front line position, absorbing a lot more damage than it should. Holy Light does give it back a little bit, as that Paladin is now sitting at level 3. All right, let's take a look back across here. Units trying to reflank. Sock trying to get repositioned, ready to engage. Meanwhile, Hawk is chasing his opponent out of his base, and we now see a turnaround fight battle. Flying machines are going to be getting into position. The mortar teams, if it can just take down this back line, it will deal massive damage here. Flying machines now looking to go after the Griffin Riders over here, as the mortar teams are just splatting up so many of those priests once more. Mortar teams looking to engage again. Another big Thunderclap being dropped back down. Holy Light saving up some of those Griffin Riders. Another mortar team splat, finishing off more units. Staff of Sanctuary, as the mortar team micro is really where it's at right now. Sock doing a good job shutting down this entire back line. So many of those casters are gone because of that superior range. All right, Knight getting taken down. Mountain King of Sock getting up to level 7. Meanwhile, the Mountain King of Hawk sitting at level 4. Both of them low on Paladin is in position. What is happening here? There it goes. It is going to be using the Ankh of Reincarnation to try and stay alive as the Mountain King dives back a bit too far. Paladin now back out onto the field. Holy Light saves the Mountain King temporarily. It does have an Ankh of Reincarnation as well. What is going on as the Paladin needs to back away? Perhaps we're going to see a bit of healing as the Water Elementals are joining in on the fight. Mortar teams are going to be putting pressure here. 60 supply compared to 53. Both sides suffering a lot of damage. Mountain King down to 57 hit points. Is it going to end up getting taken down? It is still chasing units. It's finally going to get taken out, but the Ankh of Reincarnation will bring it back temporarily. You cannot leave that hero there, though. It does not have full hit points when it comes back out, as it is, well, going to get Holy Lighted once more. Archmage drops a Water Elemental, going to try and fight its way back out. More Knights are showing up to the party, but it looks like those units will just be backing up again. Hawk with reinforcements on Knights. Perhaps some of those were Staff of Sanctuary, and that's the timing on those 3 Knights. But well timed indeed. Scroll of Town Portal happening over here on the bottom left. It looked as though the Town Hall was about to fall, but he was able to save that there. It is still 2 bases to 1 in favor of Sok, as we see a level 7 Mountain King, level 7 Archmage, level 3 Paladin. This is going up against, I believe, a level 7 Mountain King. Where is that Mountain King? There's the Paladin. There's the Archmage. I don't see where the Mountain King is back. Oh, level 4. Sorry. 5-4-3 compared to 7-4-3. Yeah, definitely Mountain King at level 7, much stronger. There is a big thunderclaps right in the center. Knights are trying to surround it, unable to easily take it down. Griffins are going to be engaging now, as the flying machines are just poking apart so many of these ground units. Mortar team's going to get focused down by those Griffins. Easy targets to try and finish off, but many of those Griffin riders are now getting shot out of the sky as well. Griffins now still making their way back over. Let's take a look. More damage making their way through. Archmage falls at level 4. For Sok going to lose a bit of mana, but that Avatar, the level 7 Mountain King, still causing massive problems. Mountain King doesn't have mana, as you can imagine, as the Paladin now trying to slip back off to the north, getting healed up again. 59 supply compared to 59. Knights are trying to retreat, as the Goblin Shredder now making their way back off to the north again. All right, Goblin Shredder down to 372 hit points. Knight is just causing some major pathing blocking. This will get taken down, giving the Paladin level 4. Archmage resurrected at the tavern. It is now a 7-4-4. 7-4-4 going up against a 5-4-5-4-3. Yeah, Hawk is behind in terms of hero level. Hawk is behind, well, he was behind in terms of economy. May have been able to, well, catch up there in just a moment. Meanwhile, Archmage shows up to the party trying to finish off those flying machines there. 65 supply compared to 64. We are still pretty much even, as the units are now, well, trying to regroup. What is Sok's plan at this stage? Sok wants to get more mana back into that Mountain King. Once at full mana, most likely will just use Thunderclap, be able to dive into the situation, and then slow down these early Knights. The flying machines that he's had has been great at picking off those Griffin Riders. And I do not believe he'll be trying to go for any more mortar teams, since he knows his opponent has been, well, hunting those mortar teams so diligently. Long distance mining now underway. This gold mine only about 5 minutes left. Meanwhile, this gold mine only about, what, 3 minutes left? A little bit more than 3 minutes left of mining. So what Hawk has, what you see is what you're going to get. He is not going to be able to train up that many more units at all. All right, Inner Fire, a lot of additional armor right here. And one of the things that people often forget is with armor, it makes overall healing that much more effective. Since you're taking less damage per attack, and then healing is always a static form of healing as well, it ends up making that Holy Light just heal for a tremendous amount. You can take a look, 8.5 additional armor right there. 8.5 times 6, it almost makes the effective healingness up by 50% or 50% overall, making it difficult to try to focus down those units. All right, Griffins are now ready to come into position. Knights, 9, finally, with Animal War Training 1-0 upgrades, no Sundering Blades. Let's take a look as we take a look at the Griffin Riders with, well, Inner Fire going straight after the Mortar Team right there. There it goes. Flying Machines are overhead, causing lots of problems as well. The Flying... Oh, Staff of Sanctuary saves one unit. Are we perhaps going to try and save more, as there are just claps to go around across all of these units here? Mountain King still in that front line, has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Both sides are thunderclapping left and right. 69 supply compared to 64. Sock is actually losing out a little bit right there. Hawk losing a couple of units as we see a big thunderclap go down. All right, clapping going around left and right. The Flying Machines, however, going to be able to win out on this fight here. Knights are getting teleported back. Let's take a look. Are any more units going to be able to teleport out? It looks like yes. Mass teleport by Hawk. And Hawk saves pretty much all of his army with that mass teleport. You can see how low so many of his units were. And now, well, perhaps a Scroll of Regeneration will be used to try and increase all of that healing. Priest also with mass healing as well. More Staff of Teleportation, trying to teleport more units. That low hit point Knight will be back up to full here in just a moment. All right, more Flying Machines will need to be added. Perhaps an Orb of Fire needs to be picked up as well. This shop is on fire. Yes, it is. Fire sale on the Fire Orb. Perhaps Archmage here ready to go. Sobi Mask, only one Staff of Sanctuary amongst the 3 heroes by Hawk. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Staff of Sanctuary, no Staff of Sanctuary there, only one as well. Level 7, level 4, level 4, going up against a level 6, level 5, level 4. All of a sudden, Hawk has really closed in on that gap, and now is actually up by 15 supply. Flying Machines could become a problem since nothing is really available to try and counteract them, and there's not that much armor or bonus armor for those Griffin Hawk Riders. Let's take a look. Flying Machines could get taken out. Archmage and the Priest are going to be what's there to try and defend those Griffin Riders. Let's take a look. More Flying Machines still getting added. No Animal War Training. Peasants. Oh, this could be bad news for these peasants right now. Sundering Blades. These units will get taken out. Archmage able to finish off a handful of peasants right there. I don't believe anything will level up, though, as the Mountain King, well, where is it going to go? More peasants going to be joining in on the fight here. Let's take a look. Trying to back around the Water Elemental in that front spot. Thunderclap trying to finish down more units. Let's take a look as you see Thunderclap going across multiple units again. Flying Machine trying to go after some of these targets. We're going to see Staff of Sanctuary try to save some of those as well. Griffin Rider down to 117 hit points. Staff of Sanctuary, it saves as well. As you can see, Griffin Rider after Griffin Rider trying to finish off those Flying Machines. All right, Griffin Rider going after the ground units too. Thunderclap coming in from Sock's level 7 Mountain King, as it is just in that front line spot. Mountain King of Hawk doing also a lot of damage, as the Mountain King still has a lot of mana because of that Sobi Mask, sitting at 51 to 52 mana right now. No Orb of Fire to really finish off many of these, well, Flying Machines, but they are being backed off again. Hawk starting to come out ahead a little bit. Sock with a 41 supply army down to 33, and this could be bad news. All right, Arcane Tower could get taken down very, very fast. Let's take a look at it. That gets taken down pretty much in no time at all. Flying Machine gets taken down as well. Mountain King is right here. More Inner Fire. Paladin is in position. A big Thunderclap, unable to go after that Avatar either, as the Mountain King, could he Stormbolt? He could, but it has gotten out of range. Archmage, let's take a look at this. We could try and engage Stormbolt onto the Mountain King. Mountain King is in trouble. Holy Light saving a Knight in the front line spot, as we're still chasing a Thunderclap, going after the entire back line of Priest now. Mountain King is in position, but doesn't have enough mana to Stormbolt that Mountain King either. More units trying to get in position. Flying Machines going after Griffin Riders, as both sides are fighting left and right. Another Thunderclap comes across. Mountain King of Hawk sitting at level 5. Almost has enough mana for a Stormbolt. Does not have enough mana for a Stormbolt, or has it now, but not wanting to do it as the, well, Mountain King got healed. All right, trying to fight back once more. Both sides are still engaging here. Water Elemental could get taken out. Holy Light saving up another Knight in that frontline spot. Mountain King, it's in that frontline spot. Are we going to see him? Yes, Thunderclap going after all of those units again. Griffins are pretty much ignoring the flying machines as we see a handful of units getting Thunderclap down again. Water Elemental dropping down as well to try and finish off perhaps some of those flying machines. The Griffins are just going to become too much though. There's not enough flying machines that really deal with them. As we can take a look, there are still two Griffins left compared to one flying machine. There goes another Knight, and I believe Hawk is going to end up losing this game, even though he was up ahead for quite some time. 1-0 upgraded Griffins, and just the Mountain King, even though his Mountain King was lower in level, able to do as much damage with that Thunderclap, causing so many problems continually, as the Paladin here is going to be able to get away. Stormbolt, I don't see a Stormbolt as of yet. The Paladin trying to head back down there's the Divine Shield, as the units are now trying to head back again. All right, let's take a look. New Water Elemental being dropped back down. Paladin sitting at level, sitting at level 4, trying to dance away from that opponent once again. Mountain King has almost 75 mana, going to turn back around the other way. The heroes are split. Mountain King, are we going to see perhaps a Stormbolt here in just a moment? No, we do not. The units are going to come back and try and re-engage once more. Mountain King is going to Thunderclap right there. Well, no, Stormbolt onto the Paladin. Paladin, there's a Thunderclap. Paladin could get taken down. It does get taken down. There it goes. And with that Paladin, no more Burst Heal, but a big Thunderclap coming across, but not finishing off the remaining units at all. Sock has left the game. Hawk is victorious. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it.